jobs in the UK, US, and Canada. All right, even if you are not, it does not apply to you. Okay, even if you are resident in UK, US, or Canada, do not feel that these strategies that we are about to talk about, the skills and the experiences, that they are not applicable to you as well. So before we jump right into our discussion, I always love to know demographics. Next couple of minutes, let's just drop our name and where we are joining from. For instance, Chukwemeka, USA, Chukwemeka, UK, Chukwemeka, Nigeria, as the case may be, so that we get to understand each other jump right into the conversation for today. Let's keep coming. Let's keep it coming. I can't see any reaction yet. I can't see any comments yet. Are you sure you guys are here with me? I have close to 50 people on the call. Okay, thank you. Can see Stella from Germany. Can see John from UK. Can see Amina from UK. Fantastic. I can see Kingsley from Ghana. Can see Chiwendo from United Kingdom as well. Can see Tracy from South Africa. You guys can easily see what I'm talking about. Can see Marianne, or Ifoma from France. I can see Marianne from Canada, Priscilla from Nigeria, and a host of other people that are also here. There's Fumi from Nigeria as well. So, like I said earlier, conversations like this is very, very interesting because you get to also hear from people from several different countries. Right on this call now, we have people from United Kingdom, people joining from South Africa, from France, from Canada, from Nigeria, from South Africa, and of course from Germany. So we have close to 7 countries on this call. And that's to show you how important that conversation like this can be. Okay, so if you know anyone that is going to benefit from the conversation that we are going to be having today, your friends, your family member, your past schoolmates, your relative, anyone, even your worst enemy, anyone that you feel that is going to benefit from the conversation that we are going to be having, please feel free to share this link with them so that they can join us and benefit from what we are going to be talking about, okay? And when I always want to speak, I also love to know if today is the first time that you are joining any of our sessions, right? So if today is your first time of being here, just feel free to type in a 1 in the comment section, all right? Just feel free to put a 1 in the comment section. But if you've been here before, right? If you've been here before, you can type in any number as it pleases you. Okay, so this is for me to also know how beginning I'm going to go down to. Fantastic. I think everyone on this call, this is their first time of being here. Fantastic. Okay, I can see Stella. Today, you wrote 6, so apparently you've been here before as well. Same thing as Ebenezer Jan. All right, and for everybody that today is their first day, please, there's a ritual that we always do here, and it's simple. Because by virtue of you being on this call as adults, something can come up, and maybe a call or a text message or anything, distractions can come. So I always advise people to attendance form that my colleague Fifoluwa will be dropping in the comment section. Right. So once you fill that attendance form, once we are done with this conversation today, we are going to share the slide with you and also share the recorded version of this conversation with you as well. Okay, so once you fill the attendance form with it, with the details, we can be able to communicate with you and send the slides to you as well as the recorded version of this conversation. Fantastic. We're going to jump right into what we have for today. But before we start, who exactly is organizing this amazing event that we are all gathered here today to listen to? So we are Tenalytics, and we are the leading educational technology company that's helping people to break into the tech industry. Okay, we've been in existence for over 5 years, and for these 5 years, we help about 900 people to trust in different continents, in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, North America, South America, and so on and so forth, okay? And there is basically 8 courses that we are focused on. And in the course of this conversation, you're going to see the reason why we are just basing our conversation on just those 8 courses. That includes data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, and so on and so forth. And how exactly do we help people? So, the situations where you are looking for a job and you've gone for an interview, you've seen an advert and they're mentioning, oh, I want someone with 3 years of experience. So how do you build that experience that you need before even landing a job? That is why we are here. So because we leverage professionals that are already existing in the space, we bring in experts from different walks of life, people working in aviation, people working in FMCG, people working in supply chain, to come back to us and then teach people using the experience that they have. So it's not like your regular classroom where you go into and you are learning in a theoretical format. No. So here we bring in experts back to our classroom and you are learning using the real world experience that they have from their own various places of work. So that's how you can easily be able to bridge that gap that recruiters are looking for. So we've been doing this for the last 5 years and we helped a lot of people to make that switch from their current careers into the tech industry. Okay, so moving on, who am I that I've been speaking to you? My name is Chukwuemeka Ekpa, and I am a GRC professional and also a technology consultant with over a decade experience in technology space. Okay, so before I got into this position as the CEO of Tenalytics, I've worked in several places personally. I've worked as a business growth consultant in the hospitality space. I've worked as a data analytics innovator in the fintech space. I've worked as a head of control in the fintech industry. I've worked as a GRC professional as well in the banking sector. But right now, I work as a talent development specialist covering Africa and Europe currently right now. And I also serve as the CEO of Tenalytics. So I've worked in the financial service, I've worked in capital markets, I've worked in hospitality, but right now I am in the educational technology space to also assist people to break into all these industries. Okay, so feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram at Ibachooks or Twitter at Emeka_Highs, and we are going to continue this conversation from there. All right, so we're going to jump into what we have for today immediately. But first off, I love a very, very interactive class. And today I'm going to have a different approach. I want it to be as interactive as possible. So first question I have for everyone on this call is, which skill do you think is the number one skill that is needed of all professionals as are today? All right, put it in the comment section. Which skill do you think is number one needed? And also, which career path do you think is the number one across the globe? Okay, so these are two questions that I've asked right now. Which skill do you think is the top skill that every professional needs to have? And which career path do you also think is the number one career path as of now? Okay, so it's two questions. You can put skill equals, let's say, dancing. Career path equals, let's say, musician. All right, just put it in the comment section. Let me gauge how we are all doing right now. Okay, Sonia mentioned communication soft skill. Fantastic, Sonia. Sonia mentioned communication soft skill. Tracy said data science. Fantastic. Data science. All right, let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming so that we can actually be able, just feel free. There's no wrong or right answer. All right, there is no wrong or right answer. It's just different perspective and opinions that we all have. Stella mentioned skill management, career paths, project management, or HR. Okay, skill, that's management. Then career paths, project management, or HR. Fantastic, Stella. John mentioned tech skill. Okay, fantastic, very broad area. That's very, very broad. Shane also said any tech skill. Ash said decision making. So leaders said cybersecurity, while iPhone mentioned skill equals communication, career equals information technology. Fantastic responses from everyone on this call. Okay, so today we are going to dive right into all this and be able to find out which skill is actually the number one that everybody needs to have, and which ones are fast growing, as well as which career path do I need to belong to. Okay, I just mentioned marketing skills and branding. Fantastic, all right, fantastic. For someone like myself, a couple of days ago, I was trying to speak to a creative director. I was telling the guy that, oh, I need to personally brand myself in a way that I have my own logo and all those kind of things. So it's actually a very, very important skill. that Adeshola just pointed out. All right, so let's jump right into what we have. So for this session today, so why I asked this question is so that I can also gauge our own understanding as of now and know how I'm going to go with the entire conversation. So after this session today, you will be able to, number one, understand the in-demand jobs out there. You will be able to understand the in-demand jobs out there. So there's one thing that always happened when we were growing up. I studied civil engineering, first degree. And why exactly did I become a civil engineer? As I did, my dad called me because I was hell-bent on being a biotechnical engineer, right? That's what I wanted to be, a biotechnical engineer. My dad called me one time into the sitting room and said, "Chukwemeka, do I see this church? Do I know who is building it?" So on and so forth. Like the guy is a civil engineer and so on and all those kind of things. And that's how I became a civil engineer. Okay. And I believe that many of us, the careers that we got into, we may also have a different story that got us into that exact. But then growing up, if you're not an engineer, medical doctor, lawyer, it was just professional courses that everybody was just trying to get into. But as of today, everybody's trying to make their child to be the next Project Mbappe or Project Messi or Project Sierra. So a lot of things have changed. So the first thing that we need to understand is which jobs are actually in demand. So after you've actually been able to understand that, you now go ahead to also note the skills and the experience that you need for you to get into that space, right? What skills and what experience do you need to be able to play in that job that is in demand? Okay. And then, of course, you also learn how to position yourself for success. Okay. How and where to apply. So these are the basic three things that I've identified that we are going to be touching base today. All right. But feel free, if you have a different thing that you want to also take out from this conversation, right? Please put it in the comment section, and I'm sure I'm going to look at it and make sure that I tilt our conversation also towards that direction. Okay, if you have a different thing that you also want to take out from here, please feel free to put it in the comment section, and I am definitely going to look at it, and we're also going to dissect it as well. Okay, so first, I want all of us to know that this phenomenon of changing career paths or trying to break into a different sector is across every single background that I can think of out there. So don't think, oh, because you are a customer service person or you're in the banking sector or you're in science and arts, that is just specific to your own area. No. So it is cut across all the different domains that you can think of. All right. And what I've tried to do is also to show us people that have been able to make this switch from different walks of life. Okay, because one major challenge I've noticed that we have when we try to break into the tech sector is that we always ask a question of, oh, how can me, a medical doctor, start to transition to be, let's say, a data analyst or a data scientist? All right, are we still following me? Are we still following me? Because I can see myself frozen in my second screen. Please, are we still here? I love reactions so that I can actually be able to know that people are still here and listening to me. All right. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you, Fiora. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Like I said, this career switch is across the different sectors that you can think of. But how do you make sure that you are getting into the one that is meant for you? All right. Because there's one specific thing I always mention to people. No matter what you are doing right now, there is a transferable skill from that into the tech sector. All right. No matter what you are doing right now, there's a transferable skill from it into the tech sector. All right. So first, let's look at this guy called Mr. A. So Mr. A currently works as, which career path am I going to use now that Mr. A is working as? Let's say Mr. A is working as a, let's say, customer service officer. Customer service officer, all right? And by virtue of working as a customer service officer, Mr. A interacts a lot with the customers, all right? And also Mr. A also interacts with the staff of the organization because once information gets to him or her, he will still pass that same information back to maybe to the dev team or to the people that need to solve that exact issue. And of course, Mr. A will definitely also interact with the management team, right? Management team. So by virtue of carrying out all this interaction with several people, Mr. A, let's call these guys stakeholders. So these people are stakeholders. Stakeholders, right? And Mr. A wants to break into the tech sector. And he is now looking at, okay, which skill do I have that is already existing in the tech space and that can easily enable me to break into a particular sector? All right. So from every indication, Mr. A can say, oh, let me go to cybersecurity because my friend, David, is now a cybersecurity guy. And he said that's where the next big thing is. Okay. So this is why people struggle when they are transitioning. No two person is the same. Right? No two person is, even if two of you are doing the same customer service role in the same company, your deliverables and the other person's deliverables can differ. And what it simply means is that the inherent skills are also going to be different. Right? So talking about this, Mr. A also. So by virtue of interacting with these stakeholders, Mr. A will now look at, okay, which tech career path has anything that relates to stakeholders inside it. So he's now going to understand that there is what we call stakeholder analysis. Stakeholder analysis. And if he looks at the tech space, which exact career path needs someone with a skill in stakeholder analysis? The answer is business analysis. So business analysts need that exact skill. So you can see that it's easier for Mr. A to now say, oh, I want to move from being a customer service officer to become a business analyst because I have those transferable skills. And when he's not speaking, he's not going to speak like he's just getting into business analysis now. He's going to look at those things that he's been doing before, even while working as a customer service officer, and frame them to make it look like he's been in the BA space. So by doing that, he's also bringing his own years of experience as a customer service officer and bringing it into a business analysis role. So when he's now speaking, he's not going to be speaking as a newbie. He's going to speak like someone that has been in that space. I don't know if we're all following. So if he's able to do this perfectly, you can see, let's assume he had 3 years of experience in customer service, and he's just starting his journey in this one. Because he found that transferable skills in business analysis and is going to it, which is stakeholder analysis, he can still say, oh, I've had 3 years of experience working as a business analyst because I've used stakeholder analysis. I was able to analyze several data coming from my stakeholders. I use RASI metrics. I use this and that to be able to get the information that I need. But remember, he's just trying to get into business analysis. But because he's able to look inward, he found out this is what I have. This is the place that it's easy for me to get into because of what I have. Can easily be able to get into it and still utilize that same space. But if this Mr. A decides to say, oh, I want to get into cybersecurity. I want to get into cybersecurity. What it simply means is cyber security. Why is my pen misbehaving? Security. What it simply means is that he will miss out on these 3 years of experience that he already has. So he's going to now be an entire newbie in this space, meaning that he cannot be able to leverage his initial years of experience. So he can break in, but he won't be able to leverage that initial years of experience that he already have. I don't know if we all understand the explanation that I'm trying to give. So when you are trying to break into the tech space, first thing you need to find is the transferable skills that you have a place that is applicable to in the tech space, and then transition from there. Are we all following? Are we all following me to this very moment? Are we all following me till this very moment? I have close to 70 people on this call. I love a very, very interactive class. Please respond to me so that I'll be sure that you guys are following me till right now. Okay, Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Ebenezer. Thank you, Chiwendo. And thank you, Abby. Now, after we've explained this now, I want you to see that it is possible for you to actually get into this space. Because one major distractor that I've seen is that people will not mention, oh, I'm just a nurse. How can I transition to become this? So I'm going to show you people that have been able to make this same switch before you. All right, people that have been able to make this same move before you. So first, we have Evelyn. So Evelyn used to work as a nurse, all right? She has worked in the medical space for 15 years. But Evelyn came to us and mentioned that, oh, I don't like the fact that every single day I'm going into the office. I need time for my family. I need to be more at home. We looked at what Evelyn has been able to do before, and then we found out that the career path that she can easily transition into is data engineering. And today, Evelyn transitioned from being a nurse to being a data engineer. Same thing for John. John used to be a medical doctor, but right now he is a data analyst as well. All right. We also have Tony. Tony used to be a pharmacist, but presently she's also working as a data analyst. So all these people had different needs that made this career path to be what is very much applicable to them. Remember, they are all in the science background space. They're all in the medical space. One is a nurse, one is a pharmacist, one is a medical doctor, but they all transition to different career paths because they've looked at the inherent skill that they have and they found that where they can easily be able to utilize it. So if you are thinking, because you're in the science space, you can't transition, I want you to have a rethink. All right. We also have Timmy Vaughan. So Timmy is also, he used to be a lawyer, but he transitioned to becoming a business analyst. All right. Timmy used to be a lawyer, but he transitioned to become a business analyst. Same thing for Osalbo. Osalbo used to be a sales personnel, but today she is also a business analyst as well as Ngozi. Ngozi used to be a customer service rep, but right now she's also working as a business analyst. So what I've tried to do is to get people from different walks of life to show us that it is possible to break into the tech space, no matter the background that you are coming from. So the first one is the science background. The second guys are the people in the arts background. And this last lady I have now, I classify her in no background at all. Okay, because if you hear Ikmat speak, Ikmat will mention to you that she transitioned from being a full-time stay-at-home mom without any experience to landing a job in the UK with full visa sponsor. Let me see if the video is here. All right, okay, I think the video is here. All right, the video is attached here. So I'm going to play the video so that we can also hear what Ikmat had to say directly from her own mouth. Okay, just it should be like a 3 minutes video. Let's hear what she had to say.
Hi everyone, my name is Ikmat and I was with the March cohort in Tenalytics, and joining Tenalytics has been the best decision so far. You know, for me, someone coming from a background of full housewife, because I had to stay back home to look after my child for 4 years, and then wanting to break into something new, wanting to go back into the workforce, you know, wanting to place myself in the society for better job opportunities. So it was a lot. And then I'm glad that Tenalytics came along and then they presented me with so many opportunities right in front of me, better opportunities. And then I'm glad I took it. And then also the advice of do not sell yourself short, that Effie is always saying, it is very, very valid, because place yourself right, you know, don't sell yourself short. It's a very, very, very valid advice. You know, in Tenalytics, they will hold your hands like a child, you know, through the modules. You have the opportunity to go back and study. You have the opportunity to go back and practice. You have the opportunity to ask questions. You know, you have people you can always go back to, even outside of class hours. It's the most amazing experience so far, really. And then another thing is the interview prep, guys. That is another very important thing. I did my interview prep with Mr. Mohammed, and it is the best decision ever, because it was like he saw into the future. He knew what was going to be asked. And I'm glad that I wrote down all the things he mentioned. I went back to practice, and then when it was time for the interview, it was like everything he was mentioning, everything he mentioned, they were just they kept on. And then when I was answering those questions, I was so confident, because I already practiced. I did an Excel test, I did a math test, and then they were really impressed. And another thing is, guys, it may not come as fast as you expect. Definitely you are going to get some no's, and then you may begin to think you're not good enough. You are good enough, yes. The no's will come, but always take it as a basis for learning and development, because after every interview where I got a no, I always make sure I get a personal feedback. So I work on those feedbacks for my next interviews. And yes, it worked. It really worked for me, because I got my first job 3 months into the program, my first job. But I couldn't take up the job because I was a student and I was only eligible to work 20 hours. So I couldn't take up the job. 3 months later, I got 2 jobs with full visa sponsorship. And guys, all the other no's before the 2 jobs prepared me for the yeses I got. So yes, the no's will come, but do not give up, because you always have Tenalytics to go back to. They are the best and the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then yes, and they are the most affordable one I've come across so far, and that's a very good advantage. So yes, Tenalytics for the win.
All right, fantastic. I hope we heard what Hikmat had to say. So her own story is very, very unique. Okay, so 3 months into the program, she got a job, but she was not able to jump into it because she was still a student in the United Kingdom then, with limited working hours. And when she finished her own program, first month, she didn't land anything. Second month, she didn't land anything. After that second month, she now landed 2 visa-sponsored jobs that she had to now select the one that she wanted. So the truth is that the no's are going to come. So it's not like we are co-workers. The no's are going to come. Okay, but persistently, you are going to land that job that you're looking for. So you've seen how we've been able to move from showing you people that have been able to transition from the tech space, from the science background rather, people that have been able to also transition from the art background, and someone that have also been able to transition from no background at all. So this is to tell you that it is clearly possible. In fact, I always tell people this. I studied civil engineering. Today, I am the CEO of a tech company. My founder studied industrial chemistry. My co-founder studied economics. But today, we all run a full-blown tech company. So many people that are making waves in the tech space do not have any technical background initially. We all transition into this space, and we're now building up gradually. So you can actually also be able to do all those things. We also have Mary. Mary also transitioned. Mary had no experience in tech as well. Okay, and she was just working shifts in UK. Then she joined our own business analysis program in November of 2024. Then March 2025, she got her own visa sponsorships as well. So the question is, how were these people able to do this? And it's not just them. So we have over 1,000 success stories on this slide. So what I would advise you to do is to please make sure that you fill the attendance form, so that by the time we are done with this conversation, you can easily go through the slide and click on all those people's image. Once you click on any of them, it's going to pop up their own story for you. You can go through it, listen to them, and hear what they have to say, because their own story might be what you are going to resonate with. All right, so let's make sure we fill the attendance form that my colleague Fifoluwa is dropping in the comment section. So the main question that people always have is, how were they able to do this? Right? How were they able to do it? The first thing is for you to learn. Right? Like I said, learning is very, very crucial. The major mistake we make most times is that some people learn the incorrect career path. They get skills in a different career path. Imagine in 2025 right now, and someone is trying to learn how to be a typist, or how to be, you're learning, how will I put it? You're learning shorthand, or you're learning all those things that we learned in those days that is not relevant anymore. Or right now, you're still learning how to be someone that repairs, how will I put it now? Imagine opening a phone booth right now. You're learning how to open a phone booth and run a phone booth. Those are skills, those are career paths that is already phasing out. So first thing you need to know is you need to learn in-demand skill. And then you need to package yourself very well. I know sometimes we call packaging to be fake life, but trust me, there's difference between you packaging yourself and you actually living a fake life. If you've read this book that is making wave online right now, if you're Nigerian, there's this Femi Otedola's book that's currently making wave that to go through, there's a place that he mentioned that there's someone he was trying to hire, and the person quoted a higher remuneration, but he bidded a price or a fee that is quite low. And what's the reason? Because the guy came in a car that is very, very small. Right. So once he saw the guy in the car, he was able to grade that person because of the car that the person came with. And these are things that is very, very important. In fact, when I was in the banking sector, if you are going to meet our what's it called, chairman as our then, there is not all the suit that you're going to wear. Okay, because there's some certain roles that before you're hired, you have to meet the CEO. So it's not all the suits that you're going to wear. And how you package yourself is also going to determine whether you are going to land that job or not. So packaging for you that you're looking to transition ranges from CV optimization to LinkedIn build up. How do you show yourself to show value? To having a portfolio, and of course, to your interview preparatory session. I'm still going to speak extensively on how to package yourself. But let me just give us a quick story. Right? Recently, we're trying to do some collaborations with some universities in Nigeria. And I went there to speak with some of the vice chancellors. And one of the vice chancellors asked me a question. Chukwemeka, how many years of experience do I have? I mean, if you look at me, I'm quite young. And I know the aspect, I know how he's trying to box me. So my response was simple. Oh, our management team has close to 50 years of experience. Myself, I have 11 years of experience. My founder has 21 years of experience, while my co-founder has 15 years of experience. And collectively, we have close to 15 years of experience. You remember what he asked me? How many years of experience do I have? Have I answered that question? Yes. Have I been able to show him that there is a backup, there's a management team, even if my own 11 years of experience is not valid, that he wants something very robust? Have I been able to also provide it? Yes. So those packaging is very, very crucial. It is not fake life. Many of us will mention, oh, LinkedIn is very cringe. It is cringe. But how can you mention that it is cringe when you are looking for a job? All right. So I'm still going to speak extensively on that. Then after packaging yourself, next thing is for you to apply to job. So the mistake that some of us also make is that when it comes to job, applying to job, we are not serious. Right? We are not serious. We just do easy apply, easy apply, easy apply. No. There is need for you to tailor your CV down to the specifics of the job that you are going for. Right? And one major thing that I found very fascinating is that someone wanted to join our program. The lady has landed a job, right? But she doesn't know how to perform on the job. So she had to come to us, please help me out, support me on this job. What I told the lady is that we will support you on the job. But first, you have to also come in and learn the skills. Right? So it's not made me to wonder, how do people without that skill actually land jobs? That's because some people apply with everything in them. All right? They shoot shots everywhere. Right? So when you apply, how do you now show value? So if you've not learned the skill before, all right, and you've not packaged yourself as well, then you are applying. Even when you land that job, you are going to be found wanting in the space of the skill itself. Okay, so it's important for you to tailor your CV and apply to quality jobs every day, as high as you can apply to them. Okay, so and once you're able to do these 3 different steps, the next is that you are going to land a job. Right? Once you're able to play along these 3 different steps that you need, you are going to land a job. I've been able to show some success stories of people that have been able to do this before. And I also have Judith. Judith used to work as HR back in Nigeria. And when she moved to UK, she was now working as a carer. She came to us and said, I want to break out from this space that I'm on. Which career path do I need to get into? She moved into business analysis program, and she passed through the learning phase, the packaging phase, application phase, and then she landed a job as a business analyst working remotely in Huddersfield. So this is to show you that it is 100% possible, right? Remember, make sure you fill the attendance form so that you can, on your own, click on those links to directly hear from them. You can now reach out to them and ask them to say, okay, I saw your picture, I saw your profile. Reach out to them on LinkedIn and ask them how their own experience was. So it's better to always hear from them, right? So when we talk about learning, remember what first thing I said is that what exactly do you learn, right? What exactly do you learn? So when you ask yourself what you have to learn, that is what is going to make you to know what you need to do. So there's three major things that we did before we came across the programs that you can learn. So first thing is that we analyze several job boards out there. LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Bulletin, Indeed, Workopolis. And the aim is just we want to find out the jobs with the highest number of vacancies each year. Okay, and after we got that, we now try to validate them through the World Economic Forum reports. So if you know the World Economic Forum report, is a report where world leaders, economic leaders always come together to discuss on some certain topics. And one of the segments on that report is the Future of Jobs report. So we have to validate it to be sure that these jobs that we've seen in the next coming years, are they still going to be valid, right? Are they still going to be valid? Then we also have to do what we call regional analysis for us to know if it's a job in the United Kingdom, can it actually be able to get you a visa, which means it needs to be amongst the job that meets the eligible occupation for the skilled worker visa route, okay? And then also in the US space, we have to also make sure that all those jobs are within the ones that gave the highest H-1B acceptance rate for that previous year. Then also, when we look at it from the Canadian space, it needs to also meet the criteria for some of those provincial nominee programs. So after we've done these three basic analysis, we were able to come up with all the courses that we offer. And that ranges between data analytics, all right? We have data analytics, business analysis, data science, full stack data science, agile product manager, which we call Scrum Master, data engineer, cybersecurity analyst, HR analyst, as well as financial analyst, right? So after all those analysis, we're able to come up with these 8 courses. And in the next coming months, we're also going to come up with other courses as well, depending on how the new report is also showing. Okay, so question you have to ask yourself is that which one can you get into, right? And if you are living in UK right now, there is certain level of every single month, there is changes to the immigration laws. So we try to also validate that all these 8 courses, all right, do they have what it takes to provide you visa in the United Kingdom, right? Last year, we moved from shortage occupation list. The next year, we move into eligible occupation list and several things. But we realize that no matter the list that they are going with, all those 8 career paths are still present in every single one of them, right? So you can also click on these. Once you click here, it's going to take you to the eligible occupation list for UK, and you're going to see every single one of them. You're now going to validate that those career paths are actually going to land you what you are looking for. Okay, so these are things that we've done to make sure that we are able to come up with helping you break into the tech industry. Now, remember what I said, that by the time we are done with this conversation, you're also going to know the skills that are in demand, as well as the career path that you need to get into. Now, if you look at what I have on my screen, the core skill in 2025, the number one needed core skill in 2025 is analytical thinking. I don't think anyone got it right when I asked which skill do we think is the number one skill as at now? Analytical thinking. All right, so if you look through the report, you're going to see several other skills that are needed. There's resilience, there's flexibility, there's agility. All right, there's leadership, there's social influence, there's creative thinking, there's motivation and self-awareness, and several others. And then you can clearly see that technology literacy is number 6. All right, tech literacy is number 6. And if you keep looking down, you're going to notice something that is very, very important that I always mention to people. AI and big data is also number 11. Right? I want us to take note of this, number 11. So you can see that the number one skill that as our 2025 that is needed is analytical thinking. Right? Then you now move to resilience and others. But the question you have to ask yourself is, where is the world getting to? Okay, it's just like if you want to buy land as of today, and you're looking to buy land, and let me use Nigeria as an example. You're looking to buy land in Banana Island. Clearly, you know that it is going to cost you a lot. Okay, it is going to cost you a lot. And the return on that investment may not be high again because Banana Island is already Banana Island. So what you need to ask yourself is, where next are people going to get to? And then you go there, buy the land before the people even come to that space, right? And that is what I want all of us to look at. So what you now need to look at is which skills are on the rise in this 2025, right? So you can clearly see that the number one fastest growing skill as of today is AI and big data. All right, consider the number one fastest growing skill is AI and big data. So first thing you need to ask yourself is, are you data literate? Okay, are you AI literate? So once you ask yourself this question, it will give you the idea of whether the world is going to leave you behind. So you can see the number two is networks and cybersecurity. You can now see technology literacy. You can see that technology literacy that used to be number 6 is now the number 3. And you can now see creative thinking, resilience, flexibility, and agility, and of course, the other ones that are there. Clearly, you can see this one that is also on the rise, social influence. I know many of us before now, while we were growing up, our parents would always say, oh, Chukwemeka, why are you always pressing phone? All right? But those people that pressed phone that period, as at now, many of them have this social influence. Okay, it's also a skill that is on the rise. So what you want to do is to make sure that you equip yourself with all this skill that is on the rise in this 2025 to 2030. Because if you wait, say, by 2030 and you're not looking to get into it, it might not be the skill on the rise anymore. So if you look closely, you can see that the fastest growing skill as of today, they are all in the tech space, right? AI and big data, networks and cybersecurity, technology skill, they are all in tech skills, all right? So if you look on this last slide I have here, the one before this, you can see that the number one skill that we have there is analytical thinking, and they have resilience and flexibility. And the bracket that they fall under is cognitive skill. So it means that before now, cognitive skill is number one skill that most recruiters are looking for. And then after it, they're now looking at people that also have self-efficacy skills. Can you be self-sufficient? Can you be flexible? Are you agile? Are you resilient? So you can see that you have those analytical skill, self-efficacy skill, and then working with other skill as the first 3 skills. But now, the number 1, 2, 3 are now tech skill fully. Before you now start seeing creative thinking, which is now around self-efficacy, and then resilience and flexibility. So it simply means that tech skill is now the number 1 skill that everyone needs to have. So the question now is, which of them do you need to get into? Are we still following to this very moment? Have we been able to see the fastest growing skill, the skills on the rise, and the skill that presently is also in demand? Are we still here with me? Thank you, John. Thank you, Sonia. I think John and Sonia has been very, very active. Thank you for always answering. Thank you, Imelda, as well as Ruth. Okay, now after seeing these skills, next thing is now, which career path do you need to get into? All right? Which career path do you need to get into? So in the next 5 years, that's by 2030, there's going to be a lot of shifts. Okay, there's going to be a lot of shifts. And this is from the World Economic Forum report. And what they reported is that 170 million jobs are going to be created newly. Okay, and while this situation is going on, 91 million jobs are going to disappear. Okay, so if you look at my screen, all these on the green part represent these 170 million jobs that will be created, each box there represents 1 million, right? While the ones on this right-hand side represent jobs that are going to decline, right? Then the blue side represents stable jobs. So what you want to do is to make sure that you move away from this red part towards the green part. At least remain within the blue space, but make sure that you move away from it. So while you've seen this, first question you now have to ask yourself, if you are moving away, where do you need to get into? All right, where do you need to get into? And that's where you now look at the fastest growing jobs, the most in-demand career paths as of today. All right, so you can clearly see the number one in-demand career path as of today is simply the big data specialist. I don't think anyone got it correctly. The big data specialist. Okay, some people mentioned tech skills. Okay, tech career paths, IT as well. Fantastic. But if you want to narrow it down, because when people mention, oh, I'm into tech, next question that will follow is, which aspect of tech are you into? All right. So the fastest growing job as of today is the big data specialist. And we'll talk about big data specialists. It represents both data engineers, anyone that is using data, processing data, analyzing data. They are the big data specialists. And this validates the reason why we have data engineering as part of the courses that we have. You can see that it is number one. We also have data warehouse specialists, which also represent data engineers, as well as the data engineer proper, which we have here. So if you are moving on as well, you're going to see that the next one that we also have here, number 3, is the AI and machine learning specialist. All right? AI and machine learning specialists. So before now, as of last year, AI and machine learning used to be the number one fastest growing job. Okay, as of 2024, when this report for the World Economic Report for that year came out, AI and machine learning specialists to be the number one fastest growing job. But coming into 2025, big data specialists now became number one. And if you look at what's been happening in the tech space, you see the reason. Because of the advent of several things that relate to AI and machine learning, it now gave birth to the need for people that will process this data and also be able to store that data. So the actions that AI and machine learning created resulted in the need for also big data specialists being number one as well. So you can see how it is happening. Okay, you can see how it is happening. So each of those skills have an effect on the other one. The big data specialists are going to be number one right now. By next year, it's going to now switch against any of those tech skills that the big data specialist is now going to give birth to. Okay, but clearly you can see that AI and machine learning, they are part of the career paths that are going to grow. Data analysts and data scientists are part of the career paths that are also going to grow, which validates the reason why we also offer it as a course. Now you can also see the others that we have here, information security analysts, and you can see the ones on the blue, Internet of Things specialists and security management specialists, which clearly validates cybersecurity fully. Okay, you can also scroll down and you're going to see process automation specialists, which validates business analysts. So clearly you can see the reason why we have all these courses that we offer. Now, you can see that there are some courses that exist on this left-hand side, but we don't offer them, all right? And that includes things like renewable energy engineers, robotics engineers, blockchain developers, but it doesn't mean that they are not in demand. But remember, when you're trying to transition, there are things that you're also looking at. So we did our analysis using 3 basic criteria, and that's ease of learning. So the career path that people need to get into, is it a place that everyone can easily learn? All right, ease of learning, ease of transitioning, which means will people have transferable skills from what they used to do before now into that space, okay? And then high rewarding salary. So what we realize is that all the career paths that are in demand, they have high rewarding salary, but not all of them have ease of learning and ease of transitioning. And that's why we don't offer most of them. For instance, let me ask us a question on this call. How many of us think they have what it takes from their experience to break into robotics engineer? Let's be honest to ourselves. How many of us think we have what it takes to be a robotics engineer? Just put it in the comment section. If you don't, just put a no. Okay, someone said me. Fantastic. I love that. I love that someone said me. I love that. And I think the person that said me is also laughing. Okay, that's not the same person. Chinwendu. Leader said no. Fantastic. Sorry, can you guys still see my screen? Because I can't see my screen anymore. Someone said don't know. Please, can you see my screen? Okay, yes. How come I can't see my screen from my own side? That's strange. Just 1 second, please. Let me find a reason why I can't see my screen. Okay, please, I can see it now. All right. So questions we need to ask ourselves is now, do I have what it takes to break into? You can see clearly that many of us are saying, no, I don't know, and several other things, which means it is not clear, right? And that is the mistake that people make. You can actually break into robotics engineering, but do you have that time? All right, for you to be able to get into robotics engineering right now, you need at least 18 months of massive learning for you to clearly be able to break into that space. All right, at least 18 months of massive learning. And that is one question I always ask people when you're looking to transition, do you have that time for you to be able to make that switch? Everyone wants something that they can do within a space of 6 months and they've broken in. Okay, and that means that you need to look at career paths that will offer you that. Okay, so moving forward as well, if you go to the next slide, you're going to see the fastest declining career path as at today as well. Which career path is the fastest declining as at today? So the fastest declining career path as at today is postal service clerks. All right, postal service clerks. And then you are seeing the other ones that relate to bank tellers and related clerks, data entry, cashiers, and so on and so forth. So all these ones here, they are all the fastest declining career paths as at today. All right, so what you want to do, remember what I said earlier, is to move away from this right-hand side. This side represents career paths that are going to decline, while this part represents career paths that are going to grow. Okay, so when you get the slide, you can also click on these links that I have here, and it's going to take you to the full World Economic Forum reports. And personally, on your own, you can go through it and be able to make sense of what the data is saying. I always say something to people: don't take my word for it. Okay, don't take my word for it. Do your own research and also see that what you are being told is actually how it is. Okay. So after you've been able to see all these things now, question that you ask yourself is now, which of these career paths can I easily get into? Which one do I have transferable skill into? Now, what we've done from our own side also is to design a quiz where once you take that quiz, you can easily be able to actually know the career path that is meant for you. All right. Once you take that quiz, you can easily know the career path that is meant for you. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link to this quiz in the comment section while we also try to take it together. Okay. So once you click on that link, it's going to take you to the link to the page where you are going to take the quiz to know if you have the career path that is meant for you. Okay. So let me quickly drop it in the comment section as well, so that we all can take the quiz together. All right, so let me quickly drop it so that we all can take it together. Okay, something is on. Okay, something is all right. Quickly, let me copy it from here. Once you copy the link or once you get the link, just go to your own browser. In your browser, you are going to immediately land on the quiz. So let me quickly drop it for us as well to be able to check. All right, let me drop it in the comment section for us to also be able to know the career path that is meant for you. Because remember what I said earlier, the best thing you can do is to transition to a career path where you have transferable skills. All right, to transition to a career path where you have transferable skills. So once you've clicked on that link, it's going to bring you to this page. So the first thing you're going to see is not sure what tech career that suits your own personality. Take this 3-minute quiz to find out. Okay, so when you click on it to get started, it's going to ask you a couple of things where you're expected to put your name. Remember, I'm sure everybody here, we all know our name. My name is Chukwuemeka Ekpa. So once that, okay, my last name is meant to be here, Ekpa, Chukwuemeka Ekpa. And then I put my mobile number. Let me just use this. And then my email address, which is chukwuemeka@tenalytics.io. So once I do this, I simply agree and go next. So it's going to ask me a couple of questions to find out my own personality. So it's going to ask me a couple of questions to find out my personality. And first is asking me, how do I feel in group setting or team discussions? I thrive, I love engaging, leading, or just connecting. I am selective, I like people, but I need balance. I prefer to work solo or behind the scene. Okay, for me, which one? I thrive, I love engaging, leading, or just connecting. Okay, I've selected that. Next question is, what best describes my current or most recent job? Caregiver, nurse, healthcare aide, customer service, retail, admin, finance, accounting, several others, unemployed, freelancer, career suite. Just select the one that speaks to you. For me, I'm an educator, so let me select that. So which of these sounds most like me? I like solving problems with people and organizing teams. I prefer working with data and finding patterns. I like creating processes or workflows. I enjoy protecting systems. I want a job that pays well, even if it is hard. I mean, that's what I'm looking for, and I'll go for it. How comfortable are you with tools like Excel, Google Sheet, or numbers in general? Oh, I'm very comfortable. Oh, I'm not comfortable. Oh, I prefer it. I use only when I said I want to avoid numbers if I can, because I don't want to do anything coding. And I've selected it. So remember, you're selecting the one that is speaking to your own personality. Okay, so it's asking me, what's my take on coding? I love coding. I'm okay with coding. I prefer logic. I'm curious about it. I'd rather manage teams, not code, because I'm running from coding. I selected that as well. What kind of work environment do I prefer? Strategy and decision making, independent, technical, helping others, security, and so on and so forth. I don't know yet. You can also select the one that speaks to you. Okay, so what's most important to me right now? Job security on the long run, landing a high-paying tech skill, remote work, flexibility. I want to lead teams and projects, and so on and so forth. I'm still figuring out my next step. Okay, and then once I've done that, I click on next. So it's now asking me, what kind of impact do you want to make? Okay, let me just pick the first one, leading organization change and transformation. So it's now asking me which course sounds most appealing to me. Remember, I don't know. I'm still confused. So many options, I'm still confused. So I've selected that, so many options, I am still confused, and simply tap here. So once I tap there, it's going to take all my responses and give me a response, okay? It's going to take all of them and give me a response. Your answers were all over the map, which means you are still exploring. Good. Okay? You're not boxed in, you are paying attention. If no track felt like a perfect match, that's okay. You don't have to figure it out today, right? Book a free clarity call, and then it's going to be clarified. So for everything I've filled right now, everything is everywhere. Okay, so what it's going to do now is I'm going to be allowed to book a free call to speak to an expert to help me find the career path that's stable for me, right? But when you fill your own as well, it's going to also get you to the skill, the transferable skill that you need to be into. Okay, so how many of us have tried this with me? How many of us have seen results? You can drop it in the comment section. Let me see the people that have also actually been able to try this. Oh, Olalade said that she got cybersecurity. Fantastic. Let's keep it coming. Which other career path did you get? Okay, let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Sonia mentioned business analysis. Fantastic. Tosin said, I can't see the link. Oh, I've dropped the link before now, and I'm going to drop it again. All right, I've dropped it before now. I just dropped it again. Okay. And also, if you're looking at my screen, I'm going to share my slides so that what you're also seeing will be able to reflect what I'm talking about right now. So let me go back to my slide. so that what you see, you can easily scan the link that I can see on my screen, and the barcode rather, scan the barcode, and you can easily be able to get into the place to take the quiz. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. HR, Adetola mentioned HR analytics, fantastic. Femi, HR analytics. John mentioned business analyst, fantastic. Now you can see that everyone has a transferable skill into the tech space, okay? But first is that you need to find out that transferable skill. Because for you to say, oh, I've had 5 years of experience, you don't want to throw away your 5 years of experience. It means that you need to actually be able to get into a skill that you have transferable spaces into. So that when you speak, you're not going to be speaking like a newbie. You're still going to be sounding like you've been in this space for long, because that is where you have skills into it, right? You're still going to be sounding like someone that have been in that space. Okay, I can see someone just drop a comment again. Ruth mentioned that she got business analysis. Fantastic. Business analysis, fantastic. Bata said data analytics, great. Now, it is your choice to now decide to go ahead with it, or if you're not convinced about it, you can decide, oh, I want to speak to an expert and book a free clarity call for you to speak to an expert. Chinwendu mentioned data engineering. Chinwendu, definitely you love coding, because you're the only person that I've seen that got data engineering on this course. It simply means that you love coding and you're not shying away from it at all. Okay, so it's going to take into consideration all these things and then give you a response. All right, so please, let's all make sure that we go through the quiz, get the transferable skill that we have, and then break into the career path that we need to be in. If you decide to go differently, it means that you may not be able to leverage your initial years of experience. Now, everything that we've talked about now is about learning. Okay, but how do you also learn in the classroom? Okay, how do you learn in the classroom? So number one thing that you need to realize is that the class is fully virtual. So the same way I am right here speaking to you, that's how someone will also be live in the classroom speaking to you. So it's a live interactive class like this. Someone will be speaking to you and you will be going through the class. And there is also recorded versions, which means there are some little videos that you are expected to watch. Okay, and this is to make sure that you have the full understanding of what you need to break into this space. All right, this is to make sure that you have what it takes for you to break. Ramon said, can't access the link. Is most likely your network or how you are trying to access it. So you may want to use a different network to access it, all right? You want to use a different network. And if you're just joining, please remember, fill the attendance form so that on your own, when you get the slide, you can also go through all these things and be able to also take the quiz yourself. Okay, so like I was saying, you also have recorded version, which we call watch me do it videos that you are expected to watch. So when you watch these videos, it also gives you more insight into the program that you are going through. And also, all the classes are all recorded. So even if you miss a class, the full recorded version of that class will also be provided for you. Now, one major mistake that people make, there's a reason why I added this average salary of all these guys on my slide, is that sometimes when people look at these things, they decide, oh, data engineer is earning in UK average of, let's say, 65K, all right? Average in UK for data engineer is average of 65K. And then you are looking at cybersecurity average of 57K. And then in Canada, USA, same thing differently. Then you're looking at data analytics. And you're seeing that, oh, the average is 47,000. And because you want something that is going to pay you high, you've jumped into data engineering. But remember, your quiz have shown you where you have more affinity to, where your transferable skills are tilted towards. Now, if you now decide to get into data engineering and you are jumping into coding, and next thing you're saying, oh, this coding is too hard, though, this is not something I can do, you now drop off. All right, so the reason why people drop off most time and don't see things to logical conclusion is that they are transitioning because of some reasons that is not ideally to their skill. You are transitioning because data engineer is earning highest, or you're transitioning because your friend is a cybersecurity person. They said you should also get into cybersecurity. Okay, but remember, all these skills exist in the tech space, and your earning power is also dependent on the sector of the economy that you find yourself. So let me ask all of us a quick question. Who do you think is going to earn higher? A data analyst in oil and gas, or a cybersecurity professional in government power startup? Let's say in the government space. Who do you think is going to earn higher? The data analyst in oil and gas, or the cybersecurity professional in government space? Who do we think is going to earn higher? O&G. I like how Chiwende said O&G, fantastic. Sonia mentioned oil and gas. Everyone is saying oil and gas. But if you see my screen, you can clearly see that when it comes to the average of these guys, cybersecurity person earns higher. But because of that sector of the economy specific, the data analyst is now earning higher. So what I always mention to people is that all these tech skills can give you high returning salary. It's now depending on the sector of the economy that you also find yourself. And the beauty of tech is that tech is the center of all other economy. A technology person, a data analyst can work in oil and gas, a data analyst can work in banking, a data analyst can work in government, a data analyst can work in education, a data analyst can work in agriculture. So tech skills are applicable to all sectors of the economy. Okay, so it simply means that by getting a tech skill, you are now in the center of all the other sectors of the economy. Okay, I hope I've been able to clarify that. So everything I've been speaking about is about learning. So when it comes to packaging, how do you package yourself? How do you package yourself? How do you package yourself? So what I always mention to people is that competence over credential, right? Competence over credential. And early this year, Elon Musk, the richest man, I think he's the second richest man right now. I think one new guy knocked him off this week. He made a post. He said that if you are a hardcore software engineer and you want to build the everything app, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. We don't care where you went to school, or even whether you went to school, or what big name company you worked at. Just show us your code. So what does this mean? It simply means that nobody cares about the certificates you are coming with. Nobody cares about the school you attended. What everyone cares about is the skill and the experience that you are coming with. So this is what everyone cares about, the skill and the experience that you are coming with. I was going through my profile, my status today, rather, and I saw someone arguing that I think the consulting guys are having their normal annual games competition in Nigeria. And people are arguing, oh, KPMG, oh, PwC. I was just laughing. I just said to myself, what is this? Okay, and someone said, oh, if you don't have the green dots on your CV, please don't chat me or don't communicate. And I was just laughing. Because when I look deeply, I realized that these people they just got into the space newly. But the truth is that nobody cares, right? Nobody cares about those education, you went to Harvard and so on and so forth. What everybody cares about is what skill, what experience are you coming with? Okay, and let me ask all of us a very important question. You have a car today, and your car spoils. Are you going to give your car to the person saying, oh, I'm a mechanical engineer from Harvard University, master's degree from Harvard University, and this is my certificate. Bring your car, let me repair it for you. Or will you give it to the person that is saying, oh, I'm a roadside guy. I repair cars. This is my mechanic workshop. I've repaired Aston Martin, I've repaired Benz, I've repaired Toyota, I've repaired Volkswagen. Bring your car, let me repair it for you. Who exactly are you going to give your car to? The guy with master's degree and the degree from Harvard and Oxford University, or the roadside person saying, this is my workshop. I've repaired Aston Martin, I've repaired Benz, I've repaired this, I've repaired that. Bring your car, let me repair it for you. Who are you going to give your car to? John said roadside guy, fantastic. Ololade mentioned the latter, fantastic. Chiwendu roadside, fantastic. So why are we not giving it to the person with first degree mechanical engineering, second degree mechanical engineering with first class, and so on and so forth? Because we, even as an individual, we understand that the value is in the experience and the skill, and not in the paper that we are showing. Okay, so the skill and the experience will always win anytime. So we have someone that joined one of our programs. That's Hope. So Hope is a fully certified project manager. Okay, but when she came to us, she said, "Oh, I'm a certified project manager, but I don't know how to use Agile. I don't know how to use Kanban. I don't know. I'm not Agile. I don't know how to use Jira. Rather, I don't know how to use Kanban. I don't know how to use different stand-up tools." Okay, and when she joined, we were able to brush her up, provide her with those skills and tools that she needed. And afterwards, she landed a role as a project analyst. Remember, before she is a certified Scrum Master, but she still doesn't know how to use Jira and all those project management tools. So your certificate is important, but it is not going to land you what you are looking for. What is going to help you is packaging, evidence of things that you've done in the past. So clearly, when you click on this link that I have here, first thing that you're going to see is portfolio. So let me click on portfolio of one of our past students. Let me click on this. So once you click on those portfolio, it's going to bring you to see what this person has been able to do before now. So this portfolio of Victoria Uchemadu. Okay, and we go through it, you're going to see that Victoria has worked on several projects. She worked on Deep Care Hospital ER visit analysis. She worked on Redux airline flight analysis. She worked on Express Tech food delivery. She worked on Nestle product analysis as well as Zenith Electronics. Okay, when you start looking at it from the sector of the economy, Zenith Electronics is in the tech space. Nestle products is in FMCG. Redux airline is in aviation. Express Tech food delivery is in supply chain, and then Deep Care Hospital ER visit is in the health space. So 5 different sectors of the economy. That's the experience that Victoria has. When you click here, you're also going to see the actual project that she worked on. So what this is showing you is to show you that I've done this before, and this is my own evidence. Oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on the hospital ER visit analysis. And one of the major things I realized is that throughout that last year, that we had close to 10,000 visits to the hospital. And I noticed that one major thing that we had as an issue is that the average waiting time is too high. It was 35 minutes. I was able to do this, I was able to do that. And because of that, the average waiting time reduced to 25 minutes. And by that reduction, it improved our turnover, which in return also improved our revenue. So when you speak like this to recruiters, they are going to know that this person have actually worked on a project, right? They are going to know that this person has worked on a project. This person has worked with a company. And these are value, these are experiences that recruiters are looking for. So for someone like Victoria now that I've worked in the health space, aviation space, supply chain, FMCG, and then also the tech space. Do you think recruiters are going to leave Victoria and take you because you have master's degree from University of Hull? Let's be honest to ourselves. Do you think Victoria will come for a job and you will come for a job and they will choose you over Victoria because you have master's degree from University of Hull? So these are questions that we need to ask ourselves. The portfolio, the skill and the experience will always beat the certification anytime, any day. Certification is a nice to have. Certification can get you to the door, but what will walk you through it is the skill and the experience that you need to have. Okay, now after you build your CV, your portfolio, next important thing that you need to have is also your CV. Okay, you need to optimize your CV. You need to make sure that you tailor your CV to the job that you are going for. So what we do here at Analytics is that once you join our program, 2 months after you've joined, we are going to work on your CV and provide it back to you. Okay, because we expect that after that 2 months, we expect you to start applying to jobs immediately. Okay, so 2 months after, we work on your CV and provide it for you. Then LinkedIn optimization is also very, very crucial. And these are part of things that we provide you with. When you join, we are going to provide you with what we call 90 days challenge. Okay, so everything that you are learning, we expect you to talk about it because LinkedIn still remains the easiest, fastest, and cheapest means of hiring. Then how do you navigate the job market? Also bringing experts back to the classroom to walk you through the different job markets that exist and how you can navigate it. Then interview prep session, very, very important. How do you use the STAR framework to answer interview questions? You know, when I was talking about Victoria Uchemada, I said, while she was consulting with analysis, she worked on this project. That's simply the STAR framework, which means when you're asked situation-based questions, you answer it using the STAR framework, which stands for situation, task, action, and result. So the situation is, while I was consulting with Analytics, I worked on this project, which is the task, which is the hospital ER visit analysis. And I had to use Power BI or Tableau to analyze, which is the action. And after I've done all those things, it's resulted to me reducing the average waiting time to 25 minutes, which improved the turnover and also improved the revenue, which is now the return. So once you use the STAR framework to answer questions, it is going to be concise and straight to the answer, straight to point rather. So situation, task, action, and results. I hope we all got that right now. So when you have an interview invitation, you can book an interview prep with us. We are going to prep you personally, looking at the job description to prepare you for the job that you are going for. And then references and recommendation letter, very, very important. If you are UK or US, you're going to agree with me that most of the jobs that you're going for, they will ask you for references. And remember, by virtue of you training with us, you are actually consulting with us because all the projects you are working on, they are all real life projects. Okay, they are all real life projects. So we can also provide you with references and recommendation letter at any point that the recruiters actually ask for these things. Then on the job support, you've landed a job, but you are still struggling, we're also fully here to support you till you find your feet. And then weekly mentorship session where we brush you up on several things that you need to know, as well as Upwork optimization. How do you utilize Upwork to make £50 here, $50 here, 50,000 naira here, 50 cedis here, as the case may be, because we are all in the freelance era. So all these things are part of the packaging that you are going to receive. Number first thing that we talked about, learning. You've learned the skill. Number two, you're now packaging yourself. And then that packaging, in all our programs is for 8 months. Okay, it is for 8 months. 6 months, you are going to be training and learning with analytics. Then 2 months, you're going to have a 2-month internship experience with Amdari. Okay, so Amdari is a different company. So Analytics, we are fully registered in Canada, while Amdari is a UK-based company. So what this simply means is that you are getting experience from 2 international organizations. You can comfortably say, oh, while I was consulting with Analytics, I worked on this. Oh, while I was interning with Amdari, I did this. And these are things that recruiters want to hear. These are things that they want. Oh, you've done this before with a different company, you've done this before as well. So once you are done with this entire 8 months, you can come out as a full-blown professional. And you don't need 8 months to land a job. 2 months into the program, 3 months into the program, you can actually land roles because you have people that have done it before. But it doesn't stop at learning and packaging. For you to land a job, the application phase is very, very crucial. So remember, we are going to help you tailor your CV the first time. So what we are going to now do is we'll teach you also how do you tailor your CV to the specifics of the job that you are going for. So that once you are going for any job, you are going to tailor it down yourself. Once you are going for any job, you are going to tailor it down yourself because you can't use one CV for the same job application. So what we also do from our side is we scrape different job boards and provide you links to apply to them, which means we scrape Indeed, we scrape LinkedIn, we scrape several job boards out there and provide you with a link to apply to them. But the responsibility of applying to these jobs still rests on you. And that's where your own personal commitments come in. Our success rate as of today currently is at 91%. All right, our success rate is at 91%. And what does it mean? It means that 100 people will come into our program, 91 are going to move up to greater things. And what differentiates that 9% that fell off and the 91% that made it is the application phase. Learning phase, we are going to teach you. Packaging phase, we are going to package you. But application phase, we are going to provide you jobs. But the responsibility of applying to them rests solely on you. And that's something I always tell people. Applying to a job is a job on its own. Applying to a job is a job on its own. So once you are able to do all these 3 different steps, learn, package, and apply, trust me, you are going to land a job. You are going to land a job. How many of us are still following me to this very moment? How many of us are still here to this very moment with me? If you're here with me, just type anything, type I am, give me emoji so that I'll be sure that you guys are still fired up to listen to. Okay, fantastic. I can see a couple of comments dropping. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love those comments. It encourages me to keep going and to keep talking. To keep going and to keep talking. So after this, let's even see people that have been able to make this move. If you joined earlier, you'd have heard Ikmat, her own story. It's not just Ikmat. We have Ramat. She moved from being a customer service person to business analysis. We have Toyi, move from pharmacy to data. We have Lois, move from being an accountant to a business analyst. We have Ngozi, we have Oluwadamilare. A lot of people has made this switch. Okay, so what I always advise people to do is make sure you fill the attendance form that my colleagues are dropping in the comment section. So that when we are done and you get this slide, go through it, look for someone's story that also resonates to you and listen to it, right? That might be the motivation that you are looking for. Look for them on LinkedIn, connect with them, ask them personal questions. Oh, why you were learning? Was it like this? Was it like that? So that you don't take my word for it. Take it from their own mouth and hear clearly what they have to say. So all these things you are seeing right now on my screen are all success stories of people that have made this same switch before you. Okay, so what I need to explain now is all those 8 career paths that you've selected. Let me explain what it means to you. All right, so in the next 20, 30 minutes, we should be done. Let me explain what those skills mean. So first is business analysis. I know many of us selected or we got business analysis as our own career path. Who exactly are business analysts? All right, so these guys are people that come into the business to optimize the processes and make it better. All right, so their responsibility is to improve the process and make it better. And for you to function as a business analyst, there are some certain skills that you need to have. One of them is that you need to know how to use Excel. You need to understand data itself. So business analysts are people that also interact with a lot of people. So if you're someone that you are introverted, you don't like being in a lot of meetings, you don't like talking to people, business analysis may not be for you. All right. So these people in business analysis, they're constantly speaking to all stakeholders, trying to improve the processes and make it better. So first thing you understand is you need to understand data, which means you are learning data skills. And then afterwards, you're also going to learn project management skills before you now dive right into business analysis proper. All right. So you can clearly see that a business analyst can decide to pursue career in data analytics, can also decide to pursue career in project management, and also can pursue career in their core business analysis class. So you learn Excel, you learn SQL, you learn Power BI, you learn how to utilize Lucidchart, Draw.io, Confluence, Jira, Trello, and also Azure DevOps. Okay, now Agile project managers, these people are guys that are looking for nothing to do with technical coding, mathematics, anything, but they want to be in the tech space. So if you want to be in the tech space and you don't want to be in technical calculation, mathematics, anything, then Agile Project Management is for you. So these guys serve as leaders and coaches for project teams, making sure that everyone is working using Agile methods. Okay, so you're going to learn all these key learning areas here using real-world projects. So all these tools that you can see here, you're going to be learning them using practical steps. Okay, so for the Agile Project Manager, you are going to be learning Confluence, Jira, and also Trello. I hope we understand whom a business analyst is and whom the project manager Agile is as well. So the next one is data engineer. So we'll talk about data engineers. Who exactly are they? Who exactly are data engineers? So these are people that serve as plumbers. They serve to build support and pipelines and architecture for the data team. Right, so I'm going to give an example. In your house right now, there's the plumber that built the pipeline connecting water from your water overhead tank to possibly your sink, your tap, your shower, your water system, and several other outlets. So by building those pipelines, is allowing water to flow. So that's how data engineers, they build pipelines and architecture to make sure that data flows within the ecosystem. So they are very, very heavy on coding. Data engineers are very heavy on coding. The first thing you're learning is intro to data engineering. So all the courses are from basic level to advanced level. So even if you have zero experience in that space, we are going to teach you how to practice there fully. But remember what I said earlier, for you to now be able to leverage your initial years of experience, you need to transition from a career path that you have a transferable skill. Okay, so for data engineers, you're learning intro to data engineering, then how to use SQL, Python, Linux, and of course, Apache Spark and Apache Airflow. Then also then how to be a cloud engineer, learning GCP, Azure, and also AWS. So if you're someone that you want to be a data engineer, you want to be at the back end, writing codes, building pipelines, then you should be looking at data engineering. So the next one that we have is data science. So for data scientists, they answer three basic questions, okay? When it comes to data, there are three basic questions that needs to be answered, and that's simply descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, and then predictive analytics. Now, descriptive analytics will tell you this is what happened. Right? This is what happened. Diagnostic will tell you this is why it happened. Why predictive will now tell you the future of what is going to happen. Okay, a data scientist answer these three questions. What happened? Why did it happen? And what will happen in future? So first thing you're learning is statistics. You're now moving to forecasting and predictive analytics. Then learning how to utilize Tableau for data analytics, and of course, SQL and Python. So a data scientist can actually work as a data analyst. So all these four things that you're learning first will also prepare you to work as a data analyst. Then these down parts are the ones that now, bring you into predictive modeling of how to tell the future. You're not learning Python programming, learning machine learning and AI, as well as computer vision. So if you're also tilting towards AI and machine learning, data science is for you. While data analytics are simply people that come into the business to tell you, this is what happened and this is why it happened. Okay? So they look at your data historically and tell you this is what happened and this is why it happened. So data analysts only answer these two questions here: descriptive analytics and then diagnostic analytics. Descriptive and diagnostic, what happened and why it happened. Okay, remember, a data scientist can work as a data analyst, but a data analyst cannot work as a data scientist. Okay, so if you are running from coding entirely, but you are analytical, then data analytics might be for you. Okay, but if you are okay with little aspect of coding, then you should be getting into data science. I hope that's clear for everyone. Now, moving on, we also have financial analytics and also HR analytics. So financial, as the name sounds, they are simply data analysts that have specialized in a particular career path. So for the finance guys, they are data analysts that specialize in financial data. You can see that the first four things that both of them are learning are all data analytics tools. Okay, so this prepares them to also work as a data analyst. Then for the financial guy, the next thing they're going to now move into is accounting fundamentals. Understanding your three statements for accounting model. That should be your income statement, your balance sheet, and of course your, oh, I'm forgetting one, income statement, balance sheets, and cash flow. Yeah. So you understand your accounting fundamentals, and then you move to financial analysis before getting to financial model. How do you build a model to tell your business that if we continue in this path, this is what our financials are going to be looking like by the end of 3 years? Okay. And then also valuation and sensitivity analysis, as well as how do you leverage AI for analytics. For the HR guys, after they are done with their own data analytics knowledge, they're now moving to how do I function as a proper HR people analyst? Okay, how do I function as a people analyst? So first thing they're working on is KPIs and performance evaluation. How do you build up all these things? How do you measure absenteeism and attrition? Okay, how do you build your pay equity analysis and also compensation, as well as how do you track your recruitment and make it automated? As well as how do you also utilize some HRMS out there, like the Orange HRM, for your staff management? So you can see that both of them can have specialized in their own specialty in a particular career path, but it doesn't mean that they cannot work as a data analyst. They can also work as a data analyst, but they've specialized in a specific industry. Okay, so lastly, the guys that we have here is now the cybersecurity people. So if you're someone that you have a knack for security, for making things to be the way they are, for compliance in the tech space, you should be looking at cybersecurity. So these are the people that make sure that the information, data, and everything that every other person is working on is secured. So the responsibility is to make sure that everything is secured. And the way it's structured is that when you start, you're going to go through several stages. First of all, you're going to be starting with understanding the roles and technologies. Okay, you have to understand this. Then you move to risk analysis, which means you can work as a risk manager. Okay, you now move to your threat analysis and vulnerabilities, which means you can work as a network engineer at this stage. Then you now move to your SOC analysis, okay, which means you can work as a SOC analyst here. Of course, you now move to this point, which provides you aspect to work as a pen tester. Then lastly, you have GRC. So there are several domains that exist in cybersecurity. If you understand cybersecurity, you know that we have the red team, we have the blue team. That's the attack-minded team and the defense-minded team. Okay, so you are going to pass through every single one of them. Okay, the plan is that you have that general broad knowledge. And then during your internship, you can now specialize in a particular career path. So the reason is that so that when you are done, you are not boxed into a specific one already. Okay, you can easily say, okay, I want to move to SOC analysis, I want to move to pen testing, I want to move to GRC, as the case may be. Remember, all these skills, all these key learning areas, you are learning the tools that are applicable to them. How do you use Splunk for your log analysis? How do you utilize Kali? How do you use Nmap for your threats and vulnerability assessments? So you are learning all these tools that we have here to make sure you have the practical skill and the experience to deliver on the job. Okay, so everything I've said, like I said earlier, all of them are for 8 months. 6 months classroom learning, and then 2 months internship. 6 months you are with us, analytics, and working on projects, learning in the classroom to build up those skills. Then 2 months, you're now moving to Amdari to work on further projects, real-world simulation of an actual project, and be an intern there. Once you are done, you are going to fully have all the experience that you need to land this job. So all the classes hold only on Saturdays. So we have two major classes on Saturdays, the morning class and the evening class. The morning class starts by 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, the morning class starts by 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, and it's suitable for people in Europe and also Africa. Then the evening class starts by 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and it is suitable for people in North America, the Canadians and the US people. Okay, but you can be in any of them. You can look at your own schedule and find out the time that works for you. Even if you're in US and you feel like the 11 a.m. what would be better for you, should be around 4 a.m. your own time, mountain time, then you can also go for it. But you can only be in one class. You can only be in one. You can't be in the morning class today and tomorrow you are in the evening class, because it's going to distort your learning and you are going to come back that you didn't learn anything in the end. So you can only be in one class. And then during the week, we have Thursdays mentorship sessions where you can have the CV review session, interview prep session. So all those packaging aspects happens during the week, on Thursday specifically, 10 p.m. West African time and also 8 p.m. Mountain time. Okay, so this week we can have it by 10 p.m. West African time, and then next week we're having it by 8 p.m. MST. So that should be around 3 a.m. West African time. So the reason is that we want to also be able to cover up people in Europe and also people in what's it called? North America rather. So we want to cover people in different time zones. But the beauty of this is that every single of these sessions, both the classes, both the mentorship sessions, they are all recorded. So even if you miss any of them, we always advise you, go through the recording and then gonna ask us specific questions. For instance, I missed class last week. You've gone through the recording and there's something that you still do not understand. You can now come to your first, Chukwemeka, I was going through the recording and I didn't understand what you did around some if in the closed community. So we have closed WhatsApp, Slack communities where you can now ask specific questions and then that question is going to be solved for you. Okay, remember, what you have with us is a lifetime access. The recorded version of those classes, you have lifetime access to it. The Watch Me Do It videos, you have lifetime access to it. Your materials, you have lifetime access to them as well, which means you can go over them over and over and over again. I hope by now we've all already selected a particular course and also the time frame that we want to go to, whether it is morning class or whether it is going to be the evening class. I hope by now we have all already answered that question for ourselves. Okay? I hope we've all answered that question to ourselves. Fantastic. Let's move on. So after all these things, what next do you need to do? For people that are just joining us, remember, first thing you need to do is to find the career path that is suitable for you by taking this quiz. Once you take the quiz, you find the career path that is suitable for you, and then you break into that. But to learn, you package, and then you apply. Learn, you package, and you apply. So how can you start today? How can you start today? So every first Saturday of the month, we always start a new cohort. So every first Saturday of the month, we always start a new cohort. So our next cohort is starting on October 4th. So our next cohort is starting October 4th. And you have the ability to start with us for that program. So what does it entail? For all our courses, they are going for $1,000, but it is currently discounted at 25%, which means you get to pay $750. And you don't have to pay one off. You can pay $150, $150, $150, $150 consecutively for 5 months. And then that is it. So you don't have to pay everything once. You don't have to pay everything twice. You can decide to pay one off, you can decide to pay twice, you can decide to pay 3 times, and so on and so forth, up to 5 times. And what I would like to mention to people is that this discount is not forever. For instance, the early bird discount is what is currently still ongoing. And that's why you're seeing it at 25%, which means from September 6th to September 14th, this 25% discount is going to be existing. All right? The 25% discount is going to be existing. And after that, from 15 to 29, the 20% discount will kick in. And then towards the tail end of this month, the late registration of 15% will not be available. But there is also a clause. For each of those segments, only 20 people are applicable to them. So once 20 people register for this, it's instantly moved to this. Even if we've not gotten to September 14th, we instantly move to that standard discount. And once 20 people register there as well, we instantly move to the late registration discount. And once 20 people register there as well, we instantly also move to people paying the full amount. So I always advise people to try and secure their spot at any time that they get to hear about this. Because right now, this is the discount that's available. So the question now is, how do you secure your spot? So once you click here, it's going to take you to the link to your speaker language is not detected. Okay, can anyone hear me? Sorry, guys, can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me? Please, let's drop a comment. I just got a pop-up that nothing is being detected. Can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me? Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Deroju. Fantastic. So once you click on that link, it's going to bring you to our own website, all right? And once you get it, let me walk us through how we can actually get to secure our own spots. So once you click on that link, it's bringing you to this page, all right? Once it brings you to this page, you can see all the courses that we are offering. Data analytics, business analysis, financial analytics, every single one of them exists here. So look for that one that you want to get into. For instance, let's say you want to get to Agile Project Management. Simply click on Buy Now. So once you click on Agile Project Management, it's now going to bring you to this page where you can now decide to enroll. Okay, so once you click on it, next thing that you need to do is to simply come here and click on Enroll Now. Once you click on Enroll Now, you now have to put in your details. So let me quickly walk us through it. I have to put in your details. My name is Chukwu Emeka. Okay, let me just say Chukwu Ekpa. All right, my email address, now put your email address. So let me also put my own email address. So let me copy my email address and also put it in there. All right, this is my email address. All right, I've copied it and let me put it right here. Okay, my phone number, I need to put in my phone number here as well. So once you've done that, all you have to now do is validate this and then create an account. Okay, once you've done that, you have to validate it and create an account. See what it's telling me? Account successfully created, check your disk. It has brought me to this point. So what I now need to do is to scroll down and choose the course that is suitable for me. So remember, you have the option to right now decide to secure your spot, but defer to start in November. So that's why you can see October cohorts here, you can see November cohorts here. So you can decide that you want to register now, but you want to defer to start by November. The beauty of it is that we are securing it at this price. Because by November, there's definitely going to be changes in pricing. So I'm going for the October course because I want to start as fast as I can. You can see the option where you can make full payments, you can pay one off, you can pay 2 times, you can pay 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times. So if you decide to pay 1 off or 2 times, there's also an extra discount provided for you. But if you now decide to pay for 3, 4, or 5 times, you are paying that 25 discounted already. So because, I'm not quite loaded right now, I'm going to go for the 5 monthly instrumental option. So I've clicked on it and I'll simply click on apply discount. So once I do that, it's going to bring me to this point where the discount is being applied and then it is now automatically applied. When you scroll down, you can now easily see that, oh, my first payment is due today, September 13th, $150. My next payment is October 13th. My other one, November 12th, then December 12th, and of course, January 11th. So you can see that it is now spaced out for me to pay across for 6 months. You can see it's 150, 150, 150. And the beauty is that you don't have to pay in dollars. So the location of where you are, the site is going to detect it and give you the pricing in your own local currency, right? So if you're in Nigeria, you're going to get the pricing in NG, and that's Naira. If you're in US, you're going to get it in USD. If you're in Canada, you're going to see it in CAD. If you're in UK, you're going to see it in pounds. If you're in Germany, you're going to see it in euros. So anywhere you are, you're going to see the pricing in your own location. So once I've done that, all I have to do is I'll confirm my information. After I've gone through it, I'll read through the terms and conditions, and then of course, I will validate that as well. Simply click on pay now. So when you click on pay now, you can now easily pay for the product online as fast as possible. So let me quickly pay for it right now so that we all can also experience it. So quickly, let me pay for this. All right, if you try to pay with what I'm paying with, it's not going to work for you because this is a demo account. All right, so let me put that disclaimer out there for you. For people that are smart, that want, oh, let me quickly go and use this, no, it's not going to work for you. All right, so quickly, let me pay right here and then move on. So once I've paid, remember my name is Chukwu Eba, and then I'll simply pay. So immediately I've paid for that product. Yeah, so once you are done making that payment, immediately you are, oh, someone can't hear anything, can't hear anything, can't hear. I think I froze for a moment. I froze for a moment there. So once you are done paying that product, it's going to show you payment successful and so on and so forth. So all you have to now do is simply click to go to the dashboard. So once you've clicked to go to the dashboard, it's now bringing you in here. So it's asking you to verify your email. So just go back to the email that you've used to create the account, and you see an email from us. Okay, once you go back there, you see an email from us. Get that same number that has been sent to you. Let me quickly get mine so that I can actually be able to validate my email and then immediately log into my account. So once I verify this, once I verify the verification successful, okay, let me get my email, 137410, 137410. So come back to the dashboard and impute it, 137410. Okay, so that's what I need to put in here. 137410, 137410. Okay, so quickly, let me put it here. Hope we are all still with me. 137410. It's taking it. I don't know. This is hanging. Just a moment, please. Just a moment. Enter verification code. Okay, yeah. Should be able to open now. Let me refresh that page. Okay, so once you've copied that code from your own email account, you can simply come here and put it here, 137410. And once you do that, simply verify your email. So I've verified my email and it's now going to take me straight into the learning management system. So you can see the learning management system. This is where most of your classes are going to be. So next is I need to fill a couple of forms. Which country am I joining from? Your gender, and also please indicate your preferred time. Do you want to be in the morning class or do you want to be in the evening class? So choose one that works for you. How do you hear about analytics? Oh, I heard about analytics through website, through Instagram. Oh, I heard about it through Chukwemeka. Put it and then fill your email address, alternate email address, okay? And then referral code if you have anyone that referred you and what made you to register. All these ones are now optional and simply complete your setup. Okay, how much time can you commit? Then let's say I can give 1 to 3 hours. Simply complete your setup. So once you've done that, you are right inside the LMS already. So you can see, welcome back, Chukwu. This is me. And you can see several things they can do inside here. Okay, here you can easily see all your upcoming classes. I remember I've enrolled for Agile Project Management. I can continue learning and get to see that initial watch me do it video before my actual real life class. Okay, you can continue learning and several other things that you can do on the LMS. So right here on the LMS, remember you have the option to even book for your interview prep, requests for reference letters, and so on and so forth. And one beautiful thing that we've also done is that we created our own specific AI, which we call Oluko. So if you're chatting with ChatGPT and several other things, you realize that there's a specific way that ChatGPT speaks. So how do we make sure that our people Oluko can help you solve your code issues, can help you prepare for interviews, can help you do every single thing that you want to do. But want the language to be unique. And that's why it is not open source. It's not for everyone. It's just for our students to have Oluko as an AI trainer as well with them fully here. So once you have done this, you're into this place already, can start learning, and that's simply as simple as that. As simple as that. I hope we all got how we can actually easily secure our spots and also get to start learning as fast as possible. Okay, so I don't know if at this moment there are people that have questions for me. If you have any question, please feel free to use the raise hand icon or drop it in the comment section, and I am going to pick it up from then. So let me quickly check. Okay, I want to speak to you guys. Okay, we can hear you now. So if you have a question, Michael, if you want to speak, use the raise hand icon and I'll call you up to speak, okay? Just use the raise hand icon and I'll call you up to speak right here, and you can speak to us immediately. But if you want to speak to us personally, on the groups that are coming through, we'll also share a link where people can easily book a one-on-one free consultation with us. It's entirely free, where we can have conversation to also, first of all, help you find a career path and then also solve some issues that you are having. Okay, Nala said, okay, Nala has a question. For how long does the class materials and video will be available once you register? Will they be available after the 8 months? Okay, Nyla, so all the materials, you have lifetime access to it. So the LMS is a lifetime access that you have to it. But remember, it is a live class. So for instance, if I go back to that LMS now, you're going to see that some of those materials are still locked. All right, some of those materials are still locked. So let me go back to it. If I go back to it, you see that some of those materials are still locked. I have access to watch the first 1 week. Okay, I have access to watch the first week, which is once I start here, I can now start watching this exact recording, which is the first Watch Me Do It video. So what we do is before each Saturday, you have a Watch Me Do It video that you watch. So you watch this and then come to class. Then during the week again, you have a video that you watch and then come to class. So that is how it progresses. And after each week, the next one is unlocked, and it's unlocked. And once all of them is unlocked, you have full-time access to it. It's a lifetime access that you have with us. And even if, let's say in 3 years' time, you come back for an interview prep, we're also fully here to prepare you for those interviews. Okay, it's a lifetime access that you have, and all the materials you have are also lifetime access. I hope that answers your question, Nyla. Okay, thank you. You are clapping, which means that answers your question. I don't know if you have any question, please feel free to use the raise hand icon and I will call you up to speak. Please, if you have any question, use the raise hand icon and I will call you up to speak, or can drop it in the comment section and I will also pick it up from there. Okay, if you've asked questions before, you can call me back to it because there are a lot of comments right now. Okay, Lushola is asking, in some data analyst roles, there's a requirement for knowledge in Python. Does it mean that this data analytics program will not be sufficient? Fantastic question, Oluwashola. Now, the truth is this. If you are going for data analytics roles, Excel is sufficient for you to land data analytics role. Power BI is sufficient for you to land data analytics role. SQL is sufficient for you to land data analytics role. There are several tools out there. Python is sufficient for you to land data analytics role. R is sufficient for you to land data analytics role. Does it mean that you're going to learn every single one of them? Same thing as Looker Studio. All right, same thing as Looker Studio. So for a data analyst, anything that you're going to use Python to do, you can use Power BI to do it. But when you now start moving towards building predictive model, that is now data science. Okay, and the tool that can use to make that predictive modeling come to life is using Python. Okay, and that is purely data science. So if you're using Python from the aspect of predictive modeling, it is data science. All right, but if you're trying to use Python from the aspect that you want to analyze your data, these are things that Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL can also help you to do. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Oluwashola. So it depends on what you are looking to achieve. All right, if you are someone that you have a knack for coding or writing codes, then you should go for data science. All right, you should go for data science, because one major thing I've realized is that some people will go for data analytics, and once they hit that Python, they will drop off. right? But that thing that you can do as a data analyst using Python, you can use Excel, Power BI, SQL, Tableau to also achieve that same thing. But when you've already gotten discouraged because of Python, you will not even have that motivation to even learn SQL, Power BI, and Tableau anymore. So that is why Python is not part of what data analysts are learning in our program. So if you want to get Python, then you should be looking towards data science. Move towards data science and become that full stack data scientist. I hope that answers your question, Dayo. What of R? Fantastic question, Dayo. It's the same response that I've given someone. Now, there are several tools out there, right? If you are someone there looking to break into machine learning, all right, so your first step to machine learning is from Python, all right, and not from R. And everything that R can do for you, Python can do it. So if you learn R and you now want to get into machine learning, you're going to suffer because there's going to be misalignment. But as a data scientist, for you to get to machine learning, you have to understand Python and then get to that machine learning. So that is why we are doing Python and not R. So there are so many tools. There is Strata, there is Lucas Studio, there's Microsoft, something else again. So there are several tools out there, but it now depends on which one is going to give you what you're looking for. Now, the reason why some people struggle to break into tech, for me to break into tech, I struggled for 2 years. Because what I was doing then is that, if Lucas Studio come out, we'll jump and learn. MongoDB will come out, we'll jump and learn. Anything that comes out, we'll jump and learn. But all these things may not be necessary for the career path that you are doing. Okay, so as a data scientist, what do you need? And not your bites from here, bites from here, bites from there for you to be able to achieve something. Just like someone that is a graphic designer or maybe a product designer. With Canva, you can design what you want to do. With Figma, you can design what you want to do. So someone can decide to learn Canva, learn Figma, learn this one, learn that one. But there is a tool that will give you all those things that you are looking for. I hope that answers your question to the person that asked that as well. That should be Dayo. Okay, thank you, Oluwashola. Can I pay by 28th of this month, John? Yes, John, you can pay by 28. But what I would advise you is that 28 might be late because 25% discount may not be existing. So at that point, you may be paying maybe $160, which now be $800 instead of $150, $150, which is $750. So you can pay, but then the discount may not be available for you at that very moment. Okay, do we have any other questions from anyone? I've answered John, I've answered Dayo, I've answered Oluwashola, I've answered, yes, I think that's the question. And if you want to speak directly to me, please use the raise hand icon, and I'm going to call you up to speak. Right? If you want to speak directly to me, use the raise hand icon, and I am going to call you up to speak. Okay, I think there's a hand. That should be Blessing. Hi, Blessing. I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So I've been eyeing PMI's PMP certification.
Yeah, Blessing, I'm struggling to hear you. There is a friction from your side.
Okay,
Let's see,
is it getting...
No, we can't hear you. There's a friction. So if you're speaking through any external device, Bluetooth or mic or anything, disconnect and speak directly to your phone or your laptop, right? Because we can't hear you at all.
Okay, how is it now?
I think it's better.
Okay, all right, thank you. So I'm saying I've been shopping around for project management courses and I came across PMP from PMI. So now I'm also interested in your Agile project management and Scrum Master. I just need to understand it more in terms of the scope and recognition, if there is a certification board or, yes, if you may sell it to me over PMP. Thank you.
All right, fantastic question, Blessing. Fantastic. I think I get what you're asking. Now, once you are done training with us, we are also going to provide you with a certificate. So we are fully accredited by the American Council of Training and Development. American Council of Training and Development, ACTD. So once you are done, we're also going to provide you with this certificate showing that you are now a certified this in that. But if what you're looking for, certification courses are different. There is a lot of them. All right. You have PNP, you have PSN, you have so many things, you have CBAP and the other ones. Now, if you what you're not looking for is now those other ones, they have to be able to go through their module and understand that everything that you've gone through will prepare you for that. But if you are through with our own training in Agile Project Management, it will prepare you fully for the PSM examination, which is Scrum Master, Professional Scrum Master examination. So once you are through with our own Agile Project Management course, it prepares you fully for the PSM. Now, one thing about certification courses is that modules differ. All those in our theoretical understanding, it differs. So you need to be able to look at what's the module that these people are looking for and make sure that it's part of what you've learned. So for us here, once you are done with your own Agile Project Management course, it prepares you for your PSM as well automatically. So you can just go to scrummaster.org and register to write for your PSM. But remember what I said earlier, certifications are secondary. Certifications are secondary. The first thing you need is the skill. Because even with the certificates, if you lack that skill, you will still need to get it before you land a job. I mentioned Hope. Hope is a fully certified Scrum Master, but she didn't know how to use Jira. She didn't know how to use Trello. She didn't know how to use Notion. So she had to join our program and get all those skills, and we equipped her. So we give you certificates in the end, but remember, the skill is number one thing that you need. Okay, and I have a second bonus for the people that is going to register within the next 24 hours, okay? So once you register, you have access to our own vault, to Amdari Vault. So this is from our partner company, Amdari. They provide you with multiple projects that you can also be able to work on to boost your portfolio. And these are unique projects that you don't find out there because they are all clients' data. So they play in the consulting phase, and when they get consulting jobs, their students also work on it. So these are also the vaults that you are going to be having access in your 5th month. So they can now start working on projects to also boost your own experience at that very moment. Remember what I said earlier, the discount is not for everyone. In each of those categories of discounts, it is just for the first 20 people in each of them. And once that 20 is filled up, discount is going to revert. Okay. So last year we got into our Better Capitalizer program. This year we got into Dohe Accelerator program. And we have one major aim. That is simply how do we help more people to break into the tech industry? Okay. Last year we helped around 355 individuals to move from our classroom into landing a job. So this year our aim is how do we double that number and make it 700? How do we get 700 people to move from our own classroom in a year to landing a tech job within that same year? So constantly, we are also learning to improve ourselves, and you also need to learn to also improve yourself. I've said earlier, you get a certificate in the end, and also it is fully accredited by the American Council of Training and Development. Okay, Sonia, your hand is up. I've asked you to unmute and speak. Sonia.
Oh, hi, and thank you very much. So this is a question personally, and I think other people around might, share that concern. Because I feel like obviously my past experience, and my capabilities, I usually have this feeling that I can fit into different, roles, not specifically. So one thing that I always like to do is try not to like restrict myself fully and just be well positioned to be able to, you know, go into different areas when the opportunity arises. Um, I know you earlier spoken about business analysts being able to fit into roles like data analysts, and I know you mentioned the agile project managers as well. Um, but am I correct if I can say maybe that could also fit into like HR analyst? I know there might be some like upskilling to do around that area, but is it ever possible for a business analyst to fit into, HR analyst as well? Um, and then maybe a bit of GRC. I don't know.
So now don't meet yourself yet. Don't meet yourself. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
what this is actually a very good question, all right? And it's part of one mistake that people most time make. All right. For me, I can comfortably speak about most of this. Remember, it's an accumulated years of experience. So when I transitioned, I was in the banking sector and I was working as internal control. And
Yeah.
that's compliance. So it was easier for me to transition through GRC, which is in cybersecurity. All right.
Yeah.
And that's because I had a transferable skill into it. So after I transitioned into GRC, I'm now existing and I already have a major skill in the tech space. All right. I already have a particular skill which I can call my own deep knowledge area, which is GRC. Then I moved into data analytics. From data analytics, I moved into business analysis. Okay. From there to the different place. But remember, it is a skill that was accumulated over years of experience.
Yeah.
All right. So at that beginning phase, if you're looking to get this, get that, get this, you may not have that deep knowledge in one. So the first advice I always make to people is that choose a particular part. For instance, you ask if you can have business analysts can have HR inside and also GRC. It's not possible.
No. My point is obviously sticking with business analysis, right?
Yeah.
Sticking with that, getting the knowledge. But I'm saying like in the future, if you probably want to delve into areas, because in my opinion, I think a business analyst can even function as a project manager as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
100%.
so I'm just saying, like, if it is a good place to start, and then in the future, if these opportunities arise, one might be able to key into, because I've seen business analysts go into project management itself, product management, and so I'm just asking, like, is it a good place to start? And then that gives you a leverage, to be able to
Okay.
move later on if one wants to.
Fantastic question. So it is a good place to start. When I was speaking, I said that business analysts can actually break into data analytics. They can break into project management, and they can also work as core business analysts. A good example of it is this guy. Lois is an accountant, but she transitioned to business analysis. But right now, she works as a project manager in UK.
Okay.
So this is one. They will have Judith. Judith used to be a customer service person and HR back in Nigeria. She did business analysis. Right now, she's working as a business analyst proper.
Yeah.
Right. And we also have another person that did business analysis, but right now they are working as a data analyst also. So that business analysis is one of the career paths that gives you that possibility to break into three different actually, which is data analytics, business analysis, and proper project management as well. So business analysis will give you that. Same thing with if you go for HR analytics. As a HR analyst, you can also break into data analytics. As a financial analyst, you can also break into data analytics. I don't know if you have seen that similarity. As a data scientist, you can work as a data analyst. All right. So these are all where the similarities and links are. So if you are the kind of person that you want to have more variety of places to go
I
through.
think for me is the flexibility, the ability to be flexible when the need arises.
Exactly. Then you should go for business analysis, Sonia. So for you, for your kind of person, you should go for business analysis. All right?
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, I can't see any other hand raised. I can't see another question in the comment section. I guess that means that everyone understood what I've been explaining. Fantastic. The class was really impactful. Okay, that's Ruth. Thank you, Ruth. Thanks, guys. All right, fantastic. Now, for everyone, remember what I said earlier, the discount is not waiting for you. So please, sessions like this, once it's completed, those 20 spots are easily taken. So I advise anyone that intends to start by October 4th to instantly secure their spots, okay? And even if you are looking to start by November, you can secure your spots now and defer to start by November, which means by next month, if price changes, it's not going to affect you because you have already secured your spot. So thank you so much to everyone. Every other blessing said payment successful, fantastic. Everything I have on this slide are all success stories of people that have come before you. So like I said, we've helped close to 2,900 people to land jobs within these 5 years that have been operating. Okay, and all these are success stories of some of them that agreed for us to utilize them for marketing purposes. All right, so all these are all success stories. For you to have access to it and also watch them, please make sure you fill the attendance form that my colleague Fee Follower is dropping in the comment section. Once you fill it, immediately after this session, my colleagues are going to send you this slide and also the recorded version of the conversation. Okay, oh, fantastic blessing. Is there any specific configuration for system to use? Great question, John. So ideally, I know we all like things that are flashy. I advise people to use HP, right? To use Windows, not HP, to use Windows rather. Use a Windows system, okay? Because the reason is this. For instance, if you want to install Power BI in a Mac, you need to download a third-party app that you are going to pay for. Okay, you have to download Parallax that you have to pay for it to install. So Mac or Apple system is somehow a closed ecosystem. There are some things that are free on Windows are paid for on Mac. So if you want to enjoy the process without making any additional payments, you should go for a Windows system. Any Windows system that is above 8 gig RAM, at least 500 SSD or 250 external memory, 250 SSD should be able to serve you. So Windows PC, 8 gig RAM and above, 250 external memory. That should be able to serve you fully, John. But if you're using a Mac, it will serve you as well, but it will cost you extra. It's not to us, but we are going to be paying for some tools that for people using Windows is entirely free. Is it a tablet sufficient? No, Sonia, tablet is not sufficient. All right, tablet is not sufficient because tablet has limitations. So ideally, laptop Windows is proper. All right, tablet has sufficiency, okay? And it also depends on the program that you are going for. If you are going for agile project management, tablets might actually be okay for you because most of the tools that they are using are just web-based tools. So for agile project management, tablet can be okay, but if you are going for any of the other courses that are technical, you need an actual laptop. Windows preferred, 8 gig RAM and above, and also 250 external memory. Thank you for asking me that question, John. It's a very, very important to me. I hope a Lenovo laptop. Yes, Lenovo is okay. Lenovo is very, very strong. So the company make is not necessary. What is necessary is that it has at least 8 gig RAM and above, and also has at least 250 external memory. Okay, Windows, perfect. If you're using a Mac, it is okay, but it means that you are going to buy some of those tools that will be free to people that are using Windows. Thank you so much for these laptops. Okay, fantastic, Betty. Betty, also 4 gig RAM can serve, but then at a point it will start hanging. So 4 gig RAM can kick you off to start learning the course. But what you need is that at least before you start working as a proper data analyst or data scientist or data engineer, that you upskill or buy a new laptop. But 4 gig RAM can start you off, but along the line to start hanging. So you can kick off the training using a 4 gig RAM, but as you grow, can now begin. Can we pay in installments? I may. And I believe you're just joining now. Of course, you have the option to pay in 5 monthly installmental option. So 5 different installmental plan, 150, 150, 150, 150 every month, okay? And remember, once you click on the link, it's going to give you your own conversion on your own local currency. If you have any further question, okay, in the different communities that you're coming through, we are going to be dropping a link for a one-on-one free consultation. It's entirely free. You are struggling to do the career path, you speak to one of our experts and they will help you find the career path, okay? And if it's also a question that is specific to the training, you can also ask it in the one-on-one, and we are going to be fully there to answer your question. Like I said, everything on my slide now, they are all success stories of people that have moved before you and they have already landed jobs right now. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me for the last 2 hours. It's not easy for you to listen to someone for 2 hours. Can anyone in Africa do the 8 months course? Of course, Paulina. Yes, anyone in Africa can do the course. Most people here, okay, there might be Africans, but in diaspora, but anyone, no matter your location, can actually do the course because it's fully virtual and it's a global course. If you joined earlier, We have people that join from Germany, we have people from France, we have people from Nigeria, we have people from UK, Canada, US, South Africa, Ghana, and anywhere you can think of. Okay, so you can do the course anywhere. Please, for you to have access to this slide and also to the recorded version, make sure you fill the attendance form. Okay, so with that, the details, we are going to use it to send out information about this to everyone that joined. Thank you so much to everyone for listening to me for the last 2 hours, 16 minutes. And thank you to Fifoluwa for coordinating this session to be an amazing one. On behalf of my founder, Adeza Suleiman, and my co-founder, Efemina Ipro, I say a very big thank you to each and every one of you. And I can't wait to see you come October 4th in any of our cohorts. Remember, the best time to break into tech is yesterday. The next best time is today. Cheers, everyone, and let's have a wonderful day, wonderful afternoon, or wonderful night's rest, depending on where we are joining from. Bye, guys.